Hey everyone, I'm cutting back in. I'm in Oregon, and here apparently you get to people pump your gas. Oh, thank you. Apparently people pump your gas. I've heard that you're not allowed to pump gas, your own gas. Apparently it is so true. Weirdest thing I've ever seen. But here you go. You can't pump your own gas in Oregon. Weird. Hey everyone, I'm kind of back in. I had a pass through Portland because my contact never made contact with me, but that's alright. I'm here. I'm at the Space Needle. My goodness. It's going to be fun. Anyways, I'd rather be up here than Portland anyway. You could both smoke weed in Portland and Washington, so I guess it really doesn't matter. Not that I smoke any weed, but on the drive over here I can see billboards advertising to grow your weed or buy weed and shit like that. I've never seen anything like it. So anyways, let me cut out and cut back in. A little disappointed with my contact, but that's alright. Most contacts never materialize. They're too afraid. Well, it's Sunday out here, and it must be my lucky day because it's really crowded. It seems really festive out here.
No, not that one.
Anyways, we bought tickets. We got these tickets here, going to Space Needle and some glass garden place. So I'm just trying to find out where the hell we are, but there seems like there's a lot of bands out here. Anyways, let me cut in and cut out as soon as I find out where the hell I'm going. But what a beautiful day. You know what's funny was I saw someone who actually wear a t-shirt that said I accept Bitcoin. That's actually the first time I've ever seen anybody wear that in real life, in real person. So anyways, Seattle, what a wonderful place. And it's not that cold. It's actually pretty warm out here, like it should be in the summer, unlike San Francisco. Anyways, let me cut out and cut back in. Alright, so once you exit out of that building area, you come into the glass house sculpture, and you come out into the light. You can see the Space Needle from up here, but look at that. Wow. And not only that, it's not even over yet. You go out into the gardens, and they got glass sculptures outside. They got glass sculptures outside, Jazz. We can go. Wow, what an attraction! Now, this is quite a nice surprise. I have to say, I'm impressed with Seattle. Unfortunately, this is not a public. It's not a public display. We had to pay for all this, but you've never been here. It's quite an adventure. So as we come out, oh sorry about that. So as we come out here into the garden, you can see the glass garden, and you can see just all the amazing things here in glass. Which ironically, my daughter really likes glass. She's always had that thing for it ever since she was a kid, collecting glass and crystals and stuff like that. It's just amazing. Oh my goodness. I wonder if this is glass. No, that's real. Anyways, let me cut out and I'll cut back in. So when you go into the Space Needle, they do inspect your bags. So I'm assuming they don't allow any firearms here. So that's one thing to watch out for. But other than that, if you walk around the whole area, or even inside here, I guess if you have it, they won't know. But other than that, there's where they inspect it right there. So anyways, we're inside. We're walking towards to the elevator. We have an appointment for a specific time range to go in, so we try to make it that time range. Anyways, this is the gift shop on the bottom floor on the inside. Can't wait to go up on top. Hello everyone, I'm coming back in from my Portland / Washington trip, and for the most part, when I did my research in going to those states, they are open carry. However, they don't reciprocate with Texas carry license holders. But anyways, you can open carry and you can transport. So basically, I'm going to show you how I basically carried my firearms with me. I guess starting with this right here in particular, my fanny pack. Well, I didn't carry it this way, but I have a lock. And basically, I'm in Texas now, so you can't have it loaded. The way you transport your firearm, the way I did anyways, and you see it's kind of got a little scratched up here because when I had it, I just had it loose in here. But better way of carrying it was taking this, and there's an inside zipper right here, which I finally used. So use the zipper, just a little compartment to put my magazine in there, and then carried it. And this one I usually don't chamber any in the round, so every time I do that I gotta put this in to put the hammer back down. Kind of a pain, but oh well. So put the magazine into this little area, kind of zip it up so it doesn't move around. Take this, that's how I usually do it anyway, or like this, since I carry it more of my left side for left hand. And then carried it like this, and then this is where the interesting part comes in with the lock here. So you could, I don't want it to be pretty obvious, so what I do is I close it, and all it says is that it's locked and inaccessible. That's all it says in the way that it's described, but just plug it down in here. And then, if I can do this without any issues. There we go. And then, having it done this way, I'm just transporting my firearm. So, I didn't really open carry, because they don't allow open carry in your car, apparently, but you can open carry out in open space. But once you get in the car, you can't open carry. So I just leave it like this for the most part. That's how I carried my firearm, or transported my firearm, or took my gun through those states, also California as well. So, and then here, of course, I'm back in Texas. I'm not going to lock this up, but also I locked it up here. This was locked, but I did something a little different with the way I carry my firearm in here for various reasons. But if you notice, you can't really see a firearm anywhere, because I actually have these Mylar bags here, and they're called dry packs. If you want to know what they are, they're for moisture barrier and static sensitive. Could be hard to see through the x-ray, but I doubt it, because I know some of these x-rays have they're able to see the density of the what's in your contents. But this is, I'm back in Texas, so it doesn't really matter. But this is how I transport my other firearm here. Of course, what you would have done is obviously unloaded. Have this unloaded, and I put it in this because when you go some places and you have a backpack or something, or even a small little tote bag They want to see what's inside. They may not have metal detectors, very similar to, as you saw in the Space Needle. So you still could carry and conceal, they just wanted to see it. So another way of doing it is putting it in one of these here. And then, you can, I don't know if it's separate or together, not sure, but put it in a bag like this. It's obviously not visible, and I put it in right here as a carry. So I think I'll probably do something more like this, because when I go to places, even in Texas, they want to see what's in your bag. And ironically, I went someplace where they requested to see what's in my bag, and I did open it up for them, even though I had the gun inside, but I didn't open up the bag to the gun. I opened up the bag to the main compartment. So this is a 8.5 by 12 dry pack, moisture barrier bag, static resistance. So anyways, so that's how I carried this. And I also did have it locked up, but I'm in Texas now. But what I did do, when someone wanted to see my bag, I opened this up and I said, hey, here you go, you see it? And they saw this and they're like, oh, okay. And then they didn't bother to question me or anything. But anyway, so that's how I traveled. That was with the backpack, my fanny pack right here. And then on top of that, I didn't really travel with this, but this was definitely in my car. And I have an interesting story. On the way back from Texas, on the way back to Texas, someone did pull me over. Well, a state trooper pulled me over. It's kind of late at night, and I was trying to get home as soon as possible. And it pulls me over and gave me a warning that I was going too fast. But when he checked my name, it's obvious that I'm also in the system as a carry and conceal holder. He came back to me and started lecturing me about being a license holder, that it was my duty to tell him that I had a gun or I was carrying. And that's not true. I don't have to tell anybody I have a gun, that I'm a licensed carry holder. Don't have to tell anyone. And he came back to me lecturing me about if he saw the butt of my gun and all this other stuff that he could have drawn on me and all that. And man, I was getting tired. I was really tired. I mean, I was driving all day and didn't really want to hear it, all right, because he was in no danger whatsoever. But anyways, after a while, I kind of got tired of hearing him lecture me about how he could have drawn, a gun on me if he saw my gun and all that, because I pointed right here. I didn't point right here to my gun. I was pointing to my license that I have right here. But he made the assumption that since I was pointing here to the fanny pack, which I also do have my gun, that if he saw the butt of my gun, like this right here, that he would have drawn on me, which that wouldn't have happened, but I would have never shown him the butt of my gun. So he was in no threat, and I wasn't threatened in any way by him. But after a while, hearing from him tell me about all the, what he could have drawn on me, I just looked at him and said, hey, well, I just looked at him and said, I have 5 guns on me right now. I was trying to explain to him I didn't want to deal with this stuff. I'm just trying to go home. I really didn't want to be fucking lectured. So I just looked at him and said, I have 5 guns on me right now. And, well, he pretty much ended the conversation right there and left. So, interesting story. That's what happened to me. But my gosh, this guy was trying to lecture me. If he really wants to know how many guns I got, that's what I was carrying. I was also carrying this as well, which is my other Walther P22 in a holster. This one's actually loaded. Now some people say loaded is also one in the chamber, but I think rule of thumb in most states would consider having a magazine in the gun considered loaded. So I also had this. So I also have this as well. Oh goodness. You know, it's not a good time to be a cop right now because I don't know if anybody noticed, but they're all getting shot at and killed. So it wouldn't be prudent for law enforcement officers pulling people over late at night and trying to lecture them about how they're going to draw on them if they saw the butt of a gun. Not a good idea, in my opinion. Anyways, my AR-15 as well. This is how I transported it. It was never really loaded. It's a little too big to be carrying and concealing. So I had this, my little tool bag, my little hammer for whatever reasons, my ammo. So usually my travel bag would be here, but I took it out. Anyways, that's how I traveled through the state. I guess California and Washington and Oregon. That's how I traveled with my gun. Have gun, will travel. Anyways, that concludes my episode. My experience so far in traveling is that most of the time it's not an issue, not a problem at all. Even in places where they check your firearm, you just, let them know, hey, I carry, so I'm going to be right back, and just go to your car and put it back. But for the most part, any open space, any public space, even private spaces, just any place where you can walk, for the most part, you can transport your firearm. You can also even open carry, and most of these states are open carry, although they will not. Some of them will not let you open carry while you're in your car, which is not an issue for me because this is pretty much how I carry my firearm or transport my firearm in this small little fanny pack in the way I showed you. So I don't even bother with taking the gun out and open carrying, and not, I don't really open carry that much, especially if the open carry doesn't allow me to open carry in my vehicle. So I find that pointless because most people do travel by vehicle anyway. But anyways, so in my opinion, most of the time, this is probably the most prudent way to open carry or to carry your firearm if you still want it very close to you without the burden of like a bag like this, or even a bag like this, which I actually have this with me all the time. This was also locked, but this is also a way to transport your firearm. Something like this, which I did have. This is my SD9 in here, but my P22, I could have put my SD9 in there as well, but I just find it a little bit lighter and a little bit more roomy and a lot concealable, although I'm not concealing because I'm just transporting my firearm, but it's a lot more easier to transport my Walther P22. And the other thing is, the 22 long rifle. I mean, it probably won't go through 10 people. It'll just probably go through one. So if you ever did have to use it, it's good to know that the rounds you're using won't penetrate through and through. Will just do enough to do a damage to stop anybody from harming you. So anyway, that concludes my episode on Have Gun Will Travel in Seattle. Um, I think it's not an issue. I don't see any problems with it. Although I've never seen another person open carry while I was in Seattle. Doesn't mean someone didn't have a gun, because I know I had a gun. So um, the only places that I've actually seen people open carry is when I travel through Phoenix. I stopped by a place near Phoenix to get gas and also for the kids to play around. And I've seen at McDonald's, of course, they have McDonald's playground. I've seen people open carry there. And then another place I've seen people open carry is El Paso, specifically. But when I'm in Texas, I always, whenever it's doable, I'll open carry. So I have open carried in Texas, and I've open carried in my car as well, and so while driving. Um, so so not too many places have I seen people actually open carry. I've seen more open carry in El Paso and then in Phoenix, and those are the two places that I've seen, that I've physically been there and seen and witnessed with my own eyes open carry. I haven't seen anybody in Oregon open carry, and I haven't seen anybody in Washington open carry, although those two are open carry states. Same thing with Cleveland, Ohio, open carry. I've been there. I have not seen anybody open carry. So typically, most people don't open carry, even though they even have a state constitutional right to open carry. Most people don't. The reason I don't is because some of these rules and the way they want you to open carry, it's so burdensome. It's just, honestly, it's just better to just transport your firearm, because it just doesn't take that long to get my firearm out. It doesn't really take that long, because first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run, and the second thing I'm going to do is, if I can't run anymore, is then I take this out. So anyways, this concludes this episode. If you have, like, dislike, or leave a comment, or even do a video response, until next time, stay tuned. Bye.